do you pass up the opportunity to spit blood in Joan Baez's face? Dude, I'm so funny I inverted an epiglottis. Let's round up the faceless and get some pajamas. Dude, I didn't know my head was a bank. That's fucking awesome. I want to eat so many Tootsie Rolls I just shit a tire. I jerked off with this towel so much it might be a surfboard. Mr. Schmidt is an entertainer, not a ghoul.
Hey, what's happening, Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. No Apple this week. I'm furious at myself. I forgot to get fruit. And that, that could be the story of any week. That's actually my title of my autobiography. I'm not going to lie to you. He forgot to get fruit, the Mike Schmidt story. You would think a nice juicy orange or perhaps a pomegranate with some crunchy seeds would bring me into the realm of being able to podcast properly. Because as I told you, our friend Brian said, hey, bite into a green apple and everything's going to be fine. And he just meant that about life, not even about fucking podcasting. He's like, dude, bite into a green apple and everything's going to be fine. And then some of you people were very nice and you wrote me and said, well, no, Golden Delicious or Granny Smith or Honey Crisp or Macintosh. And that's a lie, by the way. Nobody wrote about Macintosh because Macintosh, fuck that Irish cocksucker and his fucking stranglehold on the Apple industry. Let it go, man. Let it go. Go stroke your shillelagh somewhere else, motherfucker. Go eat a potato and leave the fucking bananas. Leave the apples to the rest of us. See, there's something in my brain that trips me when I go apple into banana and tomato, all that kind of shit. All that stuff runs together. Even though I've been told by my good friend John, who is the trainer that we've always talked about many, many times on this show. He is a guy who's told me I can't have any more bananas. Yes, yes, we have no more bananas for Mike, which is infuriating. I'm not going to lie to you because I have made there's something in my mouth and it's like a thing. Hold on. I don't even know what that is. Jesus Christ. It's almost, see, I'll tell you what, this is what's terrifying. I just yanked this thing out of my fucking, my orifice and it looks like a popcorn kernel, but dude, I haven't had popcorn in fucking months. And I floss like a grown-up. I brush my teeth every day, twice a day, as a matter of fact. Once in the morning. See, here's the thing. Here's how I handle it. In the shower, I brush my teeth, and then I use my blue Biotene. No, that's what do I use in the shower? I don't know. I use the blue stuff for a mouthwash, and then at night I brush my teeth, and that's where I use the Biotene. That's the non-drying mouthwash. That was a tip given to me by a dentist a million years ago. The dentist and his wife when I went and visited them back when I cared about my face and my mouth, and I had fucking insurance and I could do that sort of thing. Every year now with Obamacare, I get that thing where they're like, hey, dude, you want to add dental plan to your plan? And I think I told you guys, I added one last year, never went once because they wouldn't let me pick my dentist, and that infuriated me. I was like, so you know what? I'm letting my mouth go to seed to own big fucking dentistry. Fuck you, big tooth. I'm just going to let my fucking mouth rot. You're not going to get my money. I could use a bridge. I could probably use a bridge or two. I'm going to say two. I'm going to go with 2 bridges. I could use a Jeff Bridges. I need a Jeff and a bow. I'm going to walk in. I'm going to give me a Jeff and a bow. Hold the Lloyd, please. But definitely a Jeff and a bow. Jam them right into my goddamn mouth. Just like let Jeff and Bo Bridges have a sword fight in my mouth and fix these fucking teeth already. God damn it. What the hell's wrong with my head? My skull. Well, my skull, when I die and all my flesh rots off, people are going to look and they're going to go, well, he was a grown man, but he had the mouth of a chipmunk. What the fuck happened to that guy? And I have a big mouth and I have strong teeth. We've talked about that before. Sorry, that made me laugh. How stupid is that? We have strong teeth. I've talked about them in 11 years. What the fuck haven't we talked about? Seriously, in 11 years of this show, what part of my body do you not know anything about? You know about I got a big gouge on my hand from a pizza slicer. You know it all. What a stupid thing to say. Hey, I got strong teeth. We've talked about that before. Folks, we've had that conversation. You and I sat down and we went back and forth about my bridge work and we went and talked about exactly what was happening. And now I tell you, I have that one fang tooth, which I don't care for. This whole mouth's a haunted fucking house. It's just got to be fucking scrapped out. I gotta, like I said, Jeff Bridges, get Jeff and Bo in there to get a sword fight going. Just get the dude and the fucking baker boy. Get a dude and a baker boy to jam their fucking swords in there and fucking clean it up. Need a couple of bridges. Hold the Lloyd, please, I say, because it made me laugh earlier and I must repeat it. So here I am talking into the microphone. Now I'm going to run this by. Do I sound different? Do I sound any different to you folks? I don't know if I do or I don't. I don't know why I throw this out there. I should start doing this show with people here to tell me whether or not I sound. But then again, they'd be listening in the room, so I would just sound like me. They wouldn't be listening through the iPod vagina. We got to work out. Like there's a a subset of you who are like secret shoppers who get the show a day early, and you can approve it and see if there's anything wrong with it. If I got to do another one, that's what I want to do. I want you guys to approve a show for content so I can see if I can do a second one and knock that fucking down, locked and loaded. We can't do that. I'm sorry. We're having enough troubles getting through one show, as witnessed by the 2-hour broadcast time every week. I gotta throttle that down. We're gonna hold it down this week, folks. Whether it's artificial or not, we're holding down the show this week. We're gonna scale it down, and but then again, like as I've told you, when I get to an hour, I just think to myself, well, if it's only an hour, then I feel bad. And I want to attach an old show, but I know then people see a 2-hour show and they're like, yeah, a 2-hour show. And then they get the old show and they're like, furious. And I'm not in the business of making you furious. At least I didn't think I was. I'm not in the business of anything, quite frankly. I'm in the business of getting my teeth fixed at some point. I'm in the business of fixing my mouth with a green apple or whatever other fruit. Although I'm in the business of forgetting fruit. That's what I'm in the business of. I'm in the business of forgetting fruit, which is ridiculous because Eckhart Tolle says believe in the power of now. And if I believed in the power of now, I would believe in the power of now going to the grocery store and buying some fruit. I have frozen blueberries. What if I gnawed on those for a while? You think those would clear my mouth up? I don't know. Brian's the expert. Call him. He's got all the produce related mouth stuff that you need to fucking get filled into your goddamn brain. He's the guy. He's absolutely the person. You want to go ahead and get any produce related food stuff that lets you know exactly how you can broadcast properly? Contact Brian Howard from Cracker and the Heap, or Brian Howard from the Heap and Cracker. I don't know. He's the guy I got to call. He's the best. Folks, here's the deal. Again, here's the deal. Motherfucker. You know what? Let's make it a drinking game. Every time I say it, you drink. And then I'll try to stop it because you know me, I'm a noted teetotaler. I don't want anybody to be drinking. I don't want you drunk people getting drunk on my show. Well, you can get drunk on my show, but you can't get drunk and do something bad because of my show. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried you're going to start a drinking game where I say, what's the deal? And then bang, 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 you start pounding shots. And then somebody kills a cop and everybody blames it on me. And that's going to be fucking grim. Nobody wants that getting traced back to me because that's what happens now. You make a bad tweet and they find it 8 years later and they go throw that guy in twit jail, fucking get his thumbs, cut him off, do whatever the fuck you got to do. They unearth your past. And my past is right out there. I made a channel dedicated to my past. How fucking stupid am I? Everybody else is deleting shit all the time. I went ahead and broadcast it. I put out a whole fucking label of my past. Hey, check this out. Here's 11 years of bullshit that you can fucking use against me next time I try to get a job. Although who's trying to get a real job at this point? I'm 50. Nobody's hiring me for a real job. Where am I going to fucking work? A goddamn factory? That's not really a real job. Yawns, fuck you. I could probably get that job. Oh, that was a loud yawns. Fuck you. I looked down at the blue lines. I will tell you this. I got a different mic technique here. We got the microphone turned to the side. I'll talk about that later because I had a thought that I wanted to finish. That's what they do. They unearth your past and they drag it out like a skeleton and they rattle the bones at you and you lose your job. No matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you could have a tweet where you're like, I hate cats. And then fucking PETA's marching on your doorstep. The fucking Pink Panthers coming in your house with that bald guy with the giant nose, and they're doing terrible fucking things, fighting and ruin your furniture. And you just go, hey man, I don't like cats. Is that a thing? And they're like, well, you didn't have to tell everybody you don't like cats. That hurt cats' feelings. Cats can't read Twitter. I don't fucking care. I know they can feel it. Why, my tabby alone, when I read that, I could feel the vibration go from me to him, and he rolled around on the ground sad. So you should lose your job forever. You should be taken out of the rotation. No more jobs for you. You should go hide somewhere. And look, I'm not talking about people who do bad things. I'm talking about people who tweet things and then they get fucking ganked and thrown aside. And I'm not going to both sides this fucking thing. But it happened to James Gunn. Fucking dude, that just happened today. James Gunn, if you don't know who James Gunn is a writer, producer. I believe you can see there's a documentary about him called The Way of the James Gunn. You can go ahead and grab that. There was an old Western called Have James Gunn Will Travel. That's also about his youth. James Gunn is the guy who wrote and directed Guardians. I almost said, Clark Gable? Hey, Scarlet Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if he talked like that. By the way, I just did a Clark Gable imitation. You thought it was bad 2 weeks ago when I did the Guess Who? Here I am busting out Clark Gable. I'm the most ancient man in the world. Remember I said when my flesh rots off and they'll see my skeleton? It's already gone. I'm a skeleton. I'm an old bones. That's all I am. I reside in a coffin. I eat bugs to stay alive for sustenance. I'm the oldest, most decrepit dude in the world. I cough up dust. What a terrible life. But I live in a grown-up apartment and I got a candle burning right now. That'll tell you how old I am. Right now I've got, my apartment smells like a campfire. I got campfire smoke burning right now. That's right. Feel that in your ears. Feel that in your heart. Feel that in your gut. Feel that in your balls. Feel that down your uteri. Go ahead and think to yourself, man, I wish I was at Mike's house smelling campfire smoke. Ooh, hold on. You know what? I'm going to get low. I'm going to get real low and go AMSR on you and tell you, if you were in my house right now, you'd be peering at the green walls, staring at the blue walls, comforting yourself, sitting in a chair and smelling campfire smoke. I'd be at the desk. I'd be doing this show, and you'd be reclining right now, drinking a beverage of your choice and thinking to yourself, oh, man, once Mike finishes with campfire smoke, we're going to have a long discussion about Proust. Because I have, as you know, rich mahogany and many fine leather-bound books. And presently I'm broadcasting from A Glass Case of Emotion. I think that's the same movie, right? Is Anchorman Leatherbound Books? And I don't even know. Who fucking knows? But I will tell you that, yes, my whole house right now smells like campfire smoke. Like if I was showing this apartment to somebody right now, I would have chocolate chip cookie, right? Because that's the move. That's the magic. You're supposed to have a cookie smell in your house when people come to look at it. But it pings a little sweet for me. I go more savory. I mean, I don't want a barbecue smell in your fucking house, but campfire smoke seems to do the job. It's a flickering flame. I'm staring at it now. I'm becoming hypnotized. I don't know if I should talk while I'm staring. I'm staring into the flame. You know what? I'm seeing my future. I'm seeing my past. I'm seeing everything I need to see, and I'm smelling campfire smoke. It's feeling deep inside like I've made terrible mistakes. My teeth need to be fixed. What are you telling me, flame? I gaze deep into the eternal flame of campfire smoke. $8.99 from fucking Bed Bath & Beyond, or where the fuck I got this candle. And it's telling me to rethink all my choices. It's telling me, hey, good job on switching the mic technique and turning it sideways, as Geo told you to do. Here's what my day was like today. Let's talk about James Gunn. James Gunn, they unearthed him. I was going to say about my day. James Gunn, he was the guy who did the Guardians of the Galaxy. Before Clark Gable got involved, I had a story to tell. Not even a story, an anecdote. Not even an anecdote, a fucking sentence. Still, James Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was very successful, and it was really good. I actually saw Guardians of the Galaxy. I really liked it. Then he did Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I have not seen that. I have heard maybe it's not as good as Guardians of the Galaxy. But I will tell you this. The drop-off from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 from Guardians of the Galaxy is not as steep as the purported drop I've heard from people who saw Kingsman and Kingsman 2, The Way of the Kingsmen, or whatever the fuck it was called. Kingsmans of the Galaxy 2. And I liked the trailer for the second Kingsman, and I did not see the first Kingsman. And my buddy's like, how the fuck have you not seen Kingsman? I go, I don't know. And he's like, you got to see it. That's movie's like made for you. I said, great. Yeah, and I know Kingsman's 2's out. He's like, oh, don't bother. It's fucking terrible. I'm like, wait a minute. Because now they're making a Kingsman 3. And you can't see Kingsman 3 without seeing Kingsman 2, right? Because they're going to be, I'm sure there's something about a shoe knife or somebody hit a bomb in Parliament somewhere and it calls back to the second one. I don't fucking know. I don't like not having all the facts. So here's what I stay. I stay blissfully unaware of the entire Kingsman universe. I don't watch any of that fucking stuff. I don't watch the first one. I don't watch the third one. I don't watch any shows with kings in them. I don't watch shows with men in them. I break it up phonetically. I don't watch ings. I don't watch ns. I don't watch any of that stuff. Because then it's just because you know what, you're in an endless pursuit. Then you're just trying to stay abreast of all the goings on of the Kingsman universe. And what does that get you? Besides nothing. Staying abreast of the Kingsman, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. That's what I say. That's what me and probably fucking Roger Whittaker say. I don't know who was. What was it? It might have been Hoyt Axton. Who did that song? 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. He didn't do it like a swing song, though. That's a weird, because it was more of a dirge. You load 16 tons, and what do you get? He didn't do it like 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Hey! By the way, this just continues my streak of being old. How fucking ancient. What is there a reference? I just want to say Cardi B's name, just so I can still be considered part of this century. Can I do that? Cardi B, who we know makes money moves because she wears bloody shoes. We know all that about her. She had Offset's baby, but she was a stripper. I've seen Cardi B doing some questionable stuff online. I mean, she was a stripper and then became a rapper. And look, I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound controversial, but I don't care. I've never shied away from said things before in my life. The fact that Cardi B, this is going to sound like shaming, and I don't mean it to be. But it's not really shaming Cardi B, because Cardi B is very talented. Cardi B, she's, her and Nicki sound a little bit alike. Like I said, I don't like Nicki's solo stuff, but Nicki, whenever she does a guest verse on some fucking song, she destroys it. She's just a murderer. But then her own stuff, she's trying to sell albums, so she sounds all happy. I don't like happy Nicki Minaj. I like mean, shade-throwing Nicki Minaj. She's got to a fight with Cardi B at a fucking fashion show. How great is that? If you're there and Cardi B shows up, and then she attacks Nicki Minaj and throws a shoe at her, and then she has to leave without that shoe, that's the best part. Like, Nicki kept the shoe. So, yeah, I mean, again, she makes money moves and she has bloody shoes. Well, she's got one bloody shoe now because she threw one of her bloody shoes at fucking Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj took it home. And if you're Nicki Minaj, what do you do with that? You just bronze it, right? You put it on a fucking mantelpiece. You constantly Instagram that shoe and bring it on adventures, and you just taunt her because you got half of her fucking $8,000 shoes. And that might even be light. These women are buying some fucking shoes, man. I mean, not even fucking around. Like, I was online today. Some guy, he referenced a sofa. And you know me, I'm always in the market where I'm like, I don't mind looking at a sofa because I'm a grown-up now. I'm trying to stock my apartment with stuff. So I'm like, I'll take a look at sofas and see what they cost. And this guy, Restoration Hardware Down Feather Sofa. That's what he was saying. He's like, I'm sitting on a Restoration Hardware Down Feather Sofa. That's burned into my brain. So I said, all right, well, I'll Google it. I'll check it out. Hey, how you doing there, $2,000 sofas? And by 2,000, I mean, that's the bottom of the barrel. Let's put it this way. Restoration Hardware, bottom of the barrel, $2,000 sofas, they're stuffed with lug nuts. That's all you need to know. They're stuffed with washers and nails because of the hardware aspect. The restoration part, you got to pay for that. The hardware part comes right at the bottom, right there with the fucking $1,000 section. You get a fucking cushion stuffed with nails, washers, and fucking nuts. Dude, fuck that. I don't... Again, I've talked before about how much beds cost, and I've talked about how much you're always amazed when you leave your house. You live with your family, there's towels and shit, pillows. You don't even think twice. And you get out, you got to go buy a pillow. I went looking for pillows the other day, and I don't even know what to get. I'll take your pillow suggestions, but I thought I was going to get memory foam. One time I was with Randy, and we slept over at her parents' house. And yeah, that's right, I slept with Randy. Yeah, take that. You guys didn't know that, did you? All right, I go ahead and I broadcast that to the world. So I was there at her house, and we stayed in this bed, and by her parents were not there, so it was not that awkward and weird. I met her parents; they were nice, as we talked about. But it would have been, that would be weird to sleep with somebody at their parents' house and then and do stuff and take care of business and get involved in all sorts of rogering and randying and rogering. But we slept, and the pillows were, I believe, memory foam. I think. They were, you could punch them and then it would come back into shape, which I did a lot that night. I was punching the pillow. Oh, don't kid yourself. I just slept with Randy and I punched the pillow all night long. But I'm just, you're hitting it and then it forms around your fist and then it forms back. It's like the Blob from the Marvel Universe. Like that's what a memory pillow is. You know what? He's made of memory foam. He actually contributed. He cut off parts of himself and they turned it into the memory foam industry. Blob right now runs it. I don't know his name's like Otto von Windhorst or some bullshit. I think he was German. Although I might be conflagrating the Uter from The Simpsons with Blob from the Marvel Universe because they're both fat and he was kind of German. At least, well, Uter was super German, but I mean I don't know if Blob is German. But the word Blob just sounds German. I think that's probably what it is. There should be an umlaut in there somewhere in the word blob. Blub, blub, blub. Oh no, it's the blub. That's what the umlaut does to it. It takes the edge off. Blub. That sounds like Phil Mogg from UFO. You ever listen to UFO? I've been listening to a lot of UFO recently. And it's a long story, but it's not a long story. I like it. I went through my fucking iTunes and I'm like, find a bunch of songs you haven't heard in a long time. So a long time? What the fuck is that? So I went ahead and I made playlists of stuff that I may not have heard. I found an album that I've never listened to that I fucking love. I'm like, it was one of those things. All right. Well, first of all, let's finish Blob. All right. Well, Phil Mogg from UFO, he does this weird thing when he pronounces the letters ST together. There's a song called Baby Blue, which I've been listening to a lot recently, and I should stop probably. But he goes, I bet you never thought the time would go so fast. He says the word weirdly, fast. Bet you never thought a memory could last. Like it's just weird. Tell me where. Oh, so whatever. I'm not gonna do the whole fucking song. But Phil Mogg's got a weird voice, so that's when he blub. Like I think he would say blob like blub. This is called Lights Out. Like the way he just has a weird. I don't even know. He's English. I had to ask Pat. I go, where's fucking Phil Mogg from? And he's like, he's English. I go, yeah, but what part of England? Because he talks so fucking weird. And then and here's what you don't want to do. You don't ever ask Pat Francis questions about Phil Mogg. Because guess what? 2 hours later, you're like, you know what? I think I'm going to jump off a roof. I mean, I appreciate that. And you know what? I'm going to do it fast. I'm going to do it so fast. Because Pat's, he's a fucking walking encyclopedia of that kind of music and those kind of dudes. And that's just the way it is. It's who he is as a dude. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I wanted to be a walking encyclopedia. That's why I had to go check with him. It's good to have a friend like that you can call up and go, hey, whatever happened to Roger Taylor? And then he just tells you. You're like, oh, okay. And I mean, I know what happened to Roger Taylor. Certainly I could have thought of a better example than that. If I said, what happened to Rudy Sarzo? Which is a good way to ask because fucking Patches interviewed him. He just had him on fucking Rock Solid. That may be a spoiler alert. He may have interviewed him and not released it yet. I'm not up to date on the release schedule for Rock Solid shows. It dawns on me that I'm talking fucking fast. Like I should go ahead and downsize, right? Not downsize. Let's take it down low again. Here we go. Oh, that's right. Let's go campfire smoke one more time. Everybody lean in. Sit around your fireplace and stare at it and think that there's logs crackling in there and listen to my voice as I tell you about all of the good things that have to do with campfire smoke. That's a weird. It's funny. It's called AMSR. I know I've done this on the fucking show before, but I always think of DMSR, which of course is dance music, sex, romance. Hey, Prince. All right. So before we get into Film Mog and umlauts in Fest, we were talking about something else. Where were we? We were talking about pillows. We are in James Gunn. Oh, look at all of these topics that I never finished. Aren't you lucky that I remember all of these things in my brain? And by remember, I mean I get away from them and then hopefully can grab some thread of them as they float past me like a balloon flying into the air. Let's grab the pillow balloon. Memory foam is a thing. I went off on a blob tangent, but memory foam is like, it's hard, but it's soft. Like it's weird. It's squishy. And I like squishy. I don't know. I dug it when I was at her house, but I mean, I don't know if I would like it in my house. The pillows are fucking hard to buy, man. Cause you get them in the store and you're pushing them around, you're poking, you're prodding, you're feeling them, you're squeezing them, but you're not sleeping on it. Cause the whole point is, I can squeeze the fucking thing for 30 seconds at a store, but how's that going to feel for 8 hours on my head? And by 8, I mean 5, because there's no way I'm sleeping 8 hours ever. And that's not my fault. I can sleep 8 hours. I can sleep 10 fucking hours, man. But the thing is, when I lay down to go to sleep, it's actually 30 minutes. Or not 30 minutes, 3 hours. Why did I make it 30 minutes? Folks, I only sleep 30 seconds a night. I sleep 4 seconds a night. Hold on. Fully refreshed for today. All right, good. We're back. Was that 4 seconds? I don't know if it was. That might have only been I don't feel right. That might have only been like a 3-second nap. I'll have to get 4 seconds in later. All right. You know what? I got to get a 1 second nap in later because that 3-second nap did not do the trick. Normally 4 seconds and I'm good to go. So I went in to look. Monday I did all sorts of domestic bullshit. I went shopping yesterday and I fucking, dudes, I went looking and there was, because here's what I needed to buy. We're growing up. We're rebirthing. We're making our apartment a real apartment. So I had to go all over the place. I'm getting things framed. I went to get some movie posters framed. I'm excited about that. And like I said, I'm going to be getting some artwork eventually, which I have in mind. I know which one I want to get and where I want to put it. Trying to figure out where things go in my apartment. I'm excited to be grown up. It's really neat. The next step will be sharing it with people, like actually inviting some people over to cook or have some steaks or some spaghetti or something, and actually maybe cooking a dinner with friends. How fun would that be? You know what? This is the kind of shit that a lot of other people would consider a death sentence. Like, they'd just be like, Jesus fucking Christ, over and over with the goddamn mimosas and sitting in somebody's house and watching Netflix. Jesus. And it's like, that is my holy grail. I just want people to hang out with and come over and visit and commiserate and chat and talk and watch movies and analyze them. Like Pat, we did this thing at Pat's house. I talked about it. We went and saw Dr. Detroit at his house. It was me, Siegel, Chip, Kyle, Pat, and Ted Lyde. And we all watched Dr. Detroit out on his patio. And then we named the patio because there was a guy, the director of Dr. Detroit did a Q&A on the DVD because Dr. Detroit's terrible. It's just terrible. But I marinate in bad fucking movies like that, especially from the 80s, because you can just go, dude, I saw this at the films. I remember the fucking day I saw it. Ted Lyde was horrified. Chip Chinnery just wanted to run away. Which makes me laugh because Ted and Chip have been in some terrible projects. And I mean, granted, they don't watch them, they just work in them. But who are you to cast aspersions on a Dr. Detroit? Chip Chinnery? But the best part was the director of Dr. Detroit, I think it was Michael Pressman. I don't remember his first name. I just remember his name was Pressman. Because then I said, we coined the term, and look, I'm going to say I may have coined the term Pressman's Lounge. Where I said, dude, this is fucking beautiful. Coming out and watching a movie in Pressman's Lounge. Because he's got like cushy couches out there on the patio. You're watching a movie outside. It's pretty neat, you know? And I said, dude, we got to do a movie a month in Pressman's Lounge because I'm really good at inviting myself to other people's houses and organizing a monthly event. Where I'm like, hey, man, let's all come to fucking Pat's house and do this in the future. That's going to be great. Every month. What do you say, Pat? Okay, it's done. Yeah, and you know what? Here we do. Let's do this in Pressman's Lounge. Let's all get together and talk about Phil Mogg. How about that? Let's talk about Phil Mogg and UFO and because then Pat's on board. That's a Pressman's Lounge chat that you can't escape for 4 hours. But I just want to watch movies, and I want to watch good movies and bad movies. I'd even watch movies with Pat's wife and have her tell us about all the screen rating secrets. The bottom line is I want friends. I guess that's what it is. I crave companionship. I need people. So in making my apartment a nice place to live, I find myself thinking, well, eventually I'll be able to entertain. When I first moved here with my ex-wife, we wound up having barbecues and stuff. We had a 4th of July barbecue once. We had like fucking 15 people in my apartment. And then we played a game called Celebrity and we fucking rolled. We were crying. We were laughing so hard. It was beautiful. It was Pardo and fucking Pat. It was everybody. Siegel, I think fucking Rich Brown came over. We just had a great time. It was fantastic. And this is when I've been talking to my brother then before all the fucking shit hit the fan. We had a great time. And I love doing that. I love, as I get older, like I told you, I wind up hiding my fucking apartment because there's nobody to fucking hang out with. And I told you, I got my trainer, John, so I'm like, hey, what am I going to do with him? Hey, you want to go to a movie? Weird. After you just told me I got to do deadlifts? It sounds so strange. And again, all my other friends have kids. I sound forlorn and I don't mean to. My point is I'm excited about my apartment, and Monday I had to go do more domestic garbage. So I went to get some pictures framed, and I went and bought, I had to buy laundry baskets. I had to get a couple of those and throw away the 2 I've been using for the last 15 years because they're starting to fall apart. When you can't use the handles anymore and you got to carry it from the bottom, that just defeats the whole purpose of basket. Now you're just lugging a parcel. Basket, there's a convenient set of handles that you can carry it around on, and you can keep your distance away from your soileds. However, if you got to carry a parcel, you put it on your shoulder. Eventually, a sock flops onto your head. You're like, oh, I wore this sock last Tuesday. I don't want to wear this as a hat. And then you're terrified. And you got to take a shower every time you do the goddamn laundry, which is bad. Nobody wants to do that. So I bought laundry baskets is the point. I bought spoons. I bought a feather duster. I bought scrubbing bubbles. Folks, let me break out the list of things that I bought. So anyway, I bought a ton of stuff for the apartment, and I'm excited because Thursday we're going to get I'm going to get my dresser, I think, and so then I can get the dresser schooled because that's the dresser is the final component. Once I get the dresser in there and I can actually put my clothes in drawers, then I can move the hutch that's in my living room, in my bedroom, out into the living room and make that like a place where to keep I don't want to say office supplies, but where I would keep papers, my important papers. I gotta end this fucking show. There's no point in this. This is just me talking in circles for fuck's sake. I was talking about pillows. Oh, so the pillows. Fuck, there you go. So I went to look for pillows, man, because I want new pillows. Because I bought 2 pillows at Costco like fucking 6 months ago with Lily, and now they're just fucking oven mitts. They're totally fucking flat. You try to squish them up, and I bought 2, and then there's 2 pillows that I have in my bed that Randy brought. So she's got like 2 pillows that was going to be her side of the bed. I guess that's why she brought them or whatever. I think I may even told her, hey, if you're gonna, if you're staying over, bring pillows because I only have 2, and I use 2. I mean, I would have given her 1 certainly if she didn't bring any, but she brought some, which was nice. But again, that's a fucking year ago. So, but I'm still using them. She didn't take them because she, broke up with me over the phone or whatever the fuck. That sounded worse than it was. It was a mutual thing and it was discussed and whatever. I'm not going to get into it. But the point is, I still talk to her and everything's fine. She doesn't know I have her pillows though. I'm going to sell them. I'll put them on eBay. These freshly punched pillows from Randy's house. No, these aren't the memory foams, though. She brought, I will say this, though. I knew we weren't a serious couple because she brought these fucking horrible throw pillows. I mean, they're shaped like real pillows because they're long. Throw pillows go on your couch. I know what a real pillow is. But I have 2, pillows in my bedroom that I used to sleep with. But these 2 pillows that she brought are just, they're the kind like, they're pillow/dog bed. You know what I mean? Like there's no feathers in them. There's no hope in them. It's just that cottony bullshit that you actually find in the top of pill bottles. But they went ahead and tore off a hunk of it and they threw it in a piece of fabric and called it a pillow. I mean, it's just fucking nightmarish. So I've smashed my Costco pillows into oven mitts, and then those 2 were flat to begin with. So I've got to stack like 3 pillows on there just to get a good night's sleep. So I need pillows is my point. So I went looking, and I went to a Bed Bath & Beyond, and I walked in, and the woman's like, can I help you? And I said, where is the Beyond section? I'm looking to buy a rocket. And she glared at me, and then I said, I need laundry baskets and pillows. And she's like, oh, go to the 3rd room on the right. This woman was extremely helpful. You know what she was? You ever see Grosse Pointe Blank? when they go to the high school reunion and there's the fucking stuck up wench passing out the name tags. That's who this chick was. And she wasn't stuck up. She was one of those people, like, let's put it this way. Everybody else worked there because they wanted a paycheck. She worked there because she loves wooden spoons. You know that person who works, when you get to the hardware store, you ever meet a guy who wants to talk to you for hours and hours about a fucking Phillips head screwdriver? Oh, I tell you what, when I was a kid, you took these and you took them anywhere. I kept one in my pocket everywhere all the time. Me and Spanky would go out and we'd repair a fence. Oh, I don't fucking care, dude. Literally, I was half asleep when I walked in here just from the noxious hardware air. I don't know what you're putting in the nails. I don't know what you're putting in the screws. I don't know what's happening in these bassinets or cabinets that you're selling, but they're ready to knock me the fuck out. It's like, how they say that the air in casinos keeps you awake? Reverse that, and that's a hardware store for me. I walk in, Home Depot, they should have a fucking cot at the front, and I would just, because again, I know men want to putter around in those fucking joints. Fuck that. That is my kryptonite. That is like, if Lex Luthor ever wants to fuck me up, he's just going to throw me into a goddamn Ace Hardware, and I'll never, go ahead, rule the world. All I ask is that you let me out of here eventually, because I'm just going to be somnambulantly walking the goddamn aisles, trying not to pass out and fall down and hit my fucking head. Holy shit, do I hate a hardware store. I'm just not interested. It's not my thing. It's funny, I have a screwdriver here that Karen bought, because Karen, again, she liked tools and she could fix things, and I was like, good for you, and then she eventually left, and I was like, oh no, before you go, could you fix everything? But we have a screwdriver that when you push the button, here's how lazy I am. I mean, I love this fucking thing. It's a screwdriver that if you push a button, it goes zip, 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 and it unscrews or screws in accordingly. It twists. I guess it's electric or battery power, whatever the fuck. But no, it doesn't work. Like, I've changed the batteries a couple of times, and and it's just, for some reason, the engine just quit. And now I'm so horrified because I don't even know how much that thing costs. I don't know where Karen got it, and I know I'm going to have to go to a specialty hardware store to grab it, or whatever, even a Home Depot. It doesn't even have to be specialty. Jesus fucking Christ. If you're selling Sakrete, I don't want to be in your fucking establishment. I just can't. I don't want to be there for fucking weed and garden killer or driveway nonsense. I don't want gravel. Oh, dude, wheelbarrows, get me away. Holy shit. I don't want to buy any of that garbage. So that's why I'm cool with apartment living, because you know what? My lawn would be fucking death. I would have to live in an apartment, like a fucking neighborhood with one of those lemonhead kids who comes around with a crew cut, a push mower, and I'd go, here you go, kid, here's $50. Mow my lawn forever. I'd be fine. He would just be like my little fucking toe-headed slave. Good for him. Come over and fucking clean it up, buddy. And while you're out there, check my mail and bring it to the door, because I can't be bothered to walk, because I'm in my house trying out pillows. Yeah, that's right. I got 4 of them stacked up in my hammock. So I go to look at the memory pillows. I'm in Bed Bath & Beyond. So this woman loves spoon. You could just tell. She loves beds. She loves baths. Probably loves Beyonds. She knew where everything was. She had the fucking, and the thing is, there's people waiting in line, and she had a fucking headset on, and she'd push a button and she could talk to the whole store, and then she could talk also to certain cashiers. And I'm 85% sure she invented it. I don't think it's in any other Bed Bath & Beyond. I think she brought that from home. She made everybody wear it so she could talk to them at all times, and so she could just be in complete control of the goddamn store. She was just a type A Bed Bath & Beyond badass. So I was like, I need pillows. She goes, they're in the back. So I go look, and I went to look for their laundry baskets. First of all, dude, they had this badass laundry basket at home, Bed Bath. It was a collapsible laundry basket. Like it's flat. But then use your hand, you push it, and it opens. It's a total laundry basket. I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. The only problem is it's not big enough, because I need a larger one. And also too, I don't collapse my laundry baskets. They double as a hamper. So like in my bedroom, I have the laundry baskets, and that's where my dirty clothes go. I just throw them in there, and when it's time to go to the laundry, I sort everything and throw them in the 2 separate baskets. Because I don't want a hamper. Who the fuck wants a hamper? What is this, 1971? I don't need a goddamn hamper. Because then inevitably you're going to throw something in there and it's going to get lost, and your whole house is going to smell like just fucking gym class, and you're going to be like, oh, which is like my gym fucking reeks. Dude, I went and lifted yesterday. Was it yesterday morning? Yeah, Monday morning. And oh my God, was it awful? I mean, it was just, I mean, I can't explain to you how bad it was. It was this weird, like my gym, because it's warm here, so they keep it closed, but also it's this enclosed area, so people are lifting. It's just a terrible place. Don't kid yourself. Why did I even go on that tangent? My gym smells. Your gym smells. Everybody's gym fucking smells. But these collapsible laundry baskets, man, I would love the idea. I love the concept, but I couldn't bring it home. So I had to find a different one. But then the other big laundry baskets they had were kidney shaped. You know what that means? Like, you ever see a kidney shaped swimming pool with that little bend, that little curve in it? And I looked at it, and I'm like, my clothes won't fit in here. Like, it's just, I don't, Like, what the fuck are you doing? Did you cheap out on plastic to make this size, like, and charge the same amount as a regular laundry basket? I couldn't figure out the logic of having a kidney-shaped laundry basket. I mean, why would you even tamper with the fucking shape of the laundry basket? They've been in place since the 1800s. Betsy Ross stitched the first laundry basket, and everybody went, ooh, and they decided, guess what? It was going to look like that fucking forever. But you guys came along and when anybody makes an innovation like that, the only thing I can think of is, like I said, they're bitching out on the plastic cost. The collapsible one, that makes sense. You collapse it, you slide it under your bed. When you need it, you pull it out. That totally, you empty a hamper in it because you're a family. If the Brady Bunch comes along, it's a perfect idea for them. But for a solo dude who uses baskets doubling as hampers, collapsible doesn't work. However, kidney-shaped clearly doesn't work, because I'm never going to be able to fit all of my stuff in there. And I don't, so again, it's like, I've talked before about the Snickers bars. They used to have giant Snicker bars. Like, they were, big king size. But now the king size is 2 small pieces. And they're like, ooh, king size. Look at these 2 big chunks of Snickers. It's like, no, you cheated us all out of a sliver of nougat. That's what you fucking did. I talked about that. I ranted on this fucking 4 years ago, and it still stuck in my craw, goddammit, every time I see it. Anytime I see them have a king size bar that's like 2 pieces, I'm like, no, man, that's not king size. You just fucked everybody up. It's like, you ever go buy chips, like potato chips, and they got the party size, family size, king size, and then half the bag's filled with air. And look, I know I'm doing David Brenner's act. I get that. It's ridiculous. 8 hot dogs and 10 buns. I know, fuck. But still, it's such a weird thing when they use, and you see them stack the fucking chips up. And again, like I said, there's air and everything. But then when they try to get as many as they can on the shelf and they squish them together, dude, you're just buying fucking chip shrapnel. Yeah, I tell you what, I talked about getting gravel at Home Depot. You can go get sour cream and onion gravel at Ralph's. Just reach one bag back and take that one up. The one in the front obviously is pinched between the front and the back. The back bag and the front banister, shelf, whatever the fuck. But if you go and pull anything from the back, it's just shredded. It's just fucking sour cream and onion. It's like cobbler topping. It's that consistency. It's totally smashed. It was so smashed, I put an extra H in there. It was smashed. What the fuck was I talking about? Pillows. Jesus Christ. See, this is what happens when you don't have a life, when you don't do anything. And I got nothing to tell you about. Last week, we went through my wife's time capsule. We went through the marriage time capsule and tried to figure out what there was and what I could do. We talked about reconnecting with her. And then she watched the live stream on YouTube. And then she wrote me a note and said, do not throw away the time capsule. I want that. And I just went, oh, okay. Now, so I got to mail that, which is fine. I mean, whoever wants that. That's, again, like I said last week, it seemed like throwing away joy. And then by the end of the show, I had talked myself into going, you know what, you got to get rid of this. Makes sense. Move on. And then she's just like, yeah, don't do that. I want it. And I'm like, all right. So that was last week. Last week we had import. Today we got sour cream and onion gravel. What the fuck? This is how the show works. The ebbs and flows of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Happens every Tuesday. Well, we talk every Tuesday. And then we wind up bringing you a show on Wednesday or Thursday. Long story. And don't ask about my weekly schedule. It's so, and I mean, I'm driving so fucking much, dudes. I am, like, I'm going to finish here and I got to go drive. I got to drive. I'm trying to drive a lot, front load the week, because I know I'm gone next week. Did I tell you all this already? I might have. I don't fucking know. I can't remember what I've talked about, but I do know this. I know what I didn't finish talking about. Goddamn pillows. So I go in the back, and they've got they got regular pillows. They got literally the shitty pillow section, which are the ones that I own. Those ones that are just, there's nothing to them at all. They're like an inch deep. They're just fucking terrible. You got to fold them 3 times in order to get a good night's sleep. You got to make a fucking pillow accordion. Not a harmonica, accordion. Accordion? Jesus Christ, stop. Shirtless Steve. Fuck, I should tell you guys this. My neighbor has decided to be shirtless all the time for some reason. My autistic neighbor, Steven, he still doesn't talk to me or anything. He's been doing weird things. He reads to himself at the pool. He sings in his house, and it comes out. And I don't want to confront him about it because he's probably got that weird backup strength, and he's going to gorilla me into a fucking some sort of autistic hold, some sort of Aspie hold, and I'm going to be fucking finished. So I avoid him. I try not to talk to him. I just let him sing. Because there's nothing more soothing than because again, and I don't get the right Asperger's, dude. I don't get the right fucking guy, the right whistlehead in my fucking building. Everywhere else on 60 Minutes where they're like, look at this whistlehead. He can't even fucking tie his own shoes. However, and then he belts out a perfect tenor version of something from Phantom. And everybody's like, holy shit, I can't believe that autistic guy can sing like an angel. Well, I've got the autistic guy who can't sing at all, but decides that he has the talent that is hidden somewhere inside him, and he's going to keep singing until it bursts the fuck out. How come I don't get a special guy? I mean, I got a special guy, guy, but not a special guy. Everybody else gets the special guy who's got special talents. I got a special guy who just fucking decides to impose upon you with his readings and his singing. Jesus Christ, throttle down there, Whistlehead. Nobody wants to fucking hear you belting it out. But nobody will tell him because, again, those guys, that's just a gorilla in a man suit, really. I mean, because they got that file, they'll tear your balls right off. They'll fucking, they're like chimps, they'll just tear you apart. They'll eat your insides. Your kidney-shaped kidneys. They'll tear them out and they'll store their laundry in them. I go to the section with the pillows. They're bad. But then you start getting deeper into the pillows. And then there's memory foam. And I pick it up. And like I said, again, you can't give it a real test. You can't put your head on it. You can't sleep on it. You're kind of squeezing it and moving it and manipulating it. Squeeze, push, pull. It's like taffy. But again, you're not sleeping on it for 8 hours. So you can't get a real true test. And also, I don't want a hot pillow. Like, I mean, because it says it has a cooling shell, outer shell, or whatever the fuck. But I mean, that just seems, you know what that says to me? The necessity of a cooling outer shell indicates to me that your pillow is a death trap filled with hell flame. And I can't possibly use it because you felt like encasing it in a sherbet case or whatever the fuck. I can't do that, man. I can't put my head in a fucking possible death. But then I walked around the thing and I said, well, maybe I could do this. And I saw the price tag and it was $70 a pillow. And I went, I'm going to hold off. Thank you. I don't think I need to pay $70 for a coin flip of possible hellscapes. So, but I want the memory foam, I think. I don't know. But then I turned around and there was down pillows like Hayutatsa or some Norwegian company or whatever the fuck. Their pillows are like $175. There was a pillow there for $300. I mean... Dude, I mean, that pillow better have a glory hole in it that I can fuck to help me fall asleep. I mean, I don't know. $300 for a pillow. What the fuck, dude? I've talked about this before. When you get money, you don't think about that kind of stuff. You just kind of throw it around. You're like, yeah, I need this, I need that, I need this, because you got money. Case in point, when I was writing on shows and I would just go to iTunes and I'd spend $100 on music I didn't need. Dude, I have everything My Morning Jacket ever recorded, and the next note I hear that I like will be the first. I just decided I would go ahead and try to get into My Morning Jacket. So rather than buy an album or a couple of songs, I bought everything. I bought everything they'd ever done because I knew they hung out with the guys from Pearl Jam. I'm like, well, maybe it's kind of the same thing. No, it is clearly not the same thing. My Morning Jacket is if Leonard Skinner met the guy from Deliverance and they all formed a band with Mumford Sons. It's just not. It's like a band. There's a band called Grizzly Bear. It's like atmospheric prog rock, but with a beard. I mean, it's just fucking no good. I didn't care for My Morning Jacket. I bought Spoon. I'll tell you, I bought all the Spoon. Spoon's catchy. I bought who was it? Phoenix. I bought them. Who did Listomania? I bought their stuff, all their stuff one day. Because again, I was writing on a show. I had unlimited money, folks. I'm just dollar bills, y'all, flipping them in the air and buying all these fucking bands that I knew I'd hate later. But I like Phoenix and I still like Spoon, but My Morning Jacket, they come up in my fucking feed and the worst is if it comes up in the shower because then I'm just trapped listening to hillbillies whistle into a zither. Oh, Jesus Christ, you fucking idiots. Do me a favor. Take your jug with 3 X's on it, guzzle your moonshine and pass out in the fucking woods so maybe a bear comes along and bites your face off because I don't want to hear you strumming on a ukulele anymore. Put your piccolo away, you fucks. But if you love them, I'm sure they're terrific. It's just not for me. It's not for me. I'm finding, like I said, there are certain wheelhouses that I like. So again, so I told you this. I found a band, with the fishing net when I scooped everybody up and I bought all the things and I wasn't sure who I would like and who I wouldn't like. I found an album the other day and I'm like, I just threw it in the fucking, before I went to Toronto, I threw it in a fucking playlist. I'm like, all right, here's, I'll listen to these guys. We'll see how it happens. And so a song came on in the mix and I heard it and I go, this is a really good song. Like, I don't even know who this is. So I took out my iPod and I looked and it was a band called Under the Influence of Giants. And I'm like, I don't even fucking know who this is. Like, I got no clue. Sometimes a song will come up and iTunes used to do a song of the week. And either Karen or I would hear the song and we go, well, I like that song, and you'd download it. You know what I mean? Because it was a free download of the week. So you'd keep it, and eventually it would come up in your mix, and you go, I guess it's okay. Maybe you'd go check out their album, whatever the fuck. It was bait to get you to go look at stuff in the store. So Under the Influence of Giants comes on. It's a song, and I'm like, boy, that must have been one of those singles of the week. And I kept, I'm on my flight to Toronto. I had two flights. I'm in Vegas at the airport, whatever the fuck. Actually, I was flying to Buffalo. And then a song comes on the plane. And I'm like, man, this is a good-ass song. Who's this? Under the Influence of Giants. I get to the other airport, another song, Under the Influence. I go, Jesus Christ. I bought the whole album. And then I listen to the whole album. It's fucking great. Like, it's wheelhouse for what I like. It's really good stuff. It's kind of like, it's like Jellyfish met Guided by Voices. Does that make sense? I don't know. Whatever. It was good for me. It was exactly what I wanted. So now they're in the rotation. I'm so happy to find that finally on an iTunes expedition, I bought somebody I like. I bought Under the Influence of Giants. So if I can bring you nothing else from this show, it's that you should not buy the album from the Asperger's guy who lives upstairs in my building, but please buy the Under Influence of Giants album. It's fucking great. I feel there was something else we were talking about. There's something else. It's right here. It's right at the tip of my mouth. It's right at the edge of my lips. We're going to get low again. Hold on. Yeah. This is the voice that sounds like campfire smoke smells. Enjoy it. Please let this bounce around your head. Right now, you can hear the crackling embers inside your medulla oblongata as I bring you this, the most campfire smoky of voices I could possibly muster. Muster. Oh, James Gunn. Fuck. How did I forget that? And so I was talking about how they find like old tweets that you do and they fucking destroy you. Even if you're talented, it doesn't matter who you are. Now, look, I'm not excusing people who do garbage things. Louis C.K. did garbage things. Fuck him. They didn't go after him for a tweet storm. But James Gunn is, for all intents and purposes, to all reports and from everybody who's worked with him, a gentleman and a good person. However, back like 5 years ago, when Twitter was young in its infancy, when people were doing things to try and get noticed, James Gunn decided he was going to be a shitlord. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. And he tweeted a bunch of dumb stuff. Jokes about pedophilia, jokes about sleeping with kids, jokes about, just it's stuff that you hear and you're just like, quit trying so hard. Quit trying so hard. I knew what he was doing. Now, look, I didn't know at the time because I didn't have a fucking clue who James Gunn was, and that's the point. Back then, nobody knows who the fuck you are. It's like all these baseball players who like they tweet the N-word out and stuff like that when they're 17, and then somebody comes to them when they're 25 and goes, "Hey, check out all this stuff that you tweeted back then," and they're like, "Oh yeah, sorry." And I will say this: I'm not excusing this by any means, but I'm an old person and I'm trying to understand. And I'm trying to understand a generation that grew up with rap music as their mainstream music, not even pop music. Like rap and hip hop are like, for me, when I was a kid, Van Halen, Def Leppard, Zeppelin, all those bands, the Beatles, the Stones, rock and roll ruled everything. It was on every radio station. It was what you want, classic rock, KMET, and we had fucking WMET by me, and W fucking CKG. All of these stations played classic rock or some variation thereof. So that was what influenced me in my behavior and the way I spoke and the things that I liked. Well, these kids grew up with Jay-Z. They grew up with Tupac. They grew up with Biggie. They grew up with, Common and Nas and a lot of guys that used the N-word strongly. Eminem, people like that. And so these kids grew up where to them, and I know this is a weird thing to say, the word doesn't mean to them what it means to me. And also, they figure with the hard R gone, they're safe. They think they can communicate that way. So, I tell you, I get people in my car now, and they're young, and it's not so much guys. Sometimes guys will do it with their young friends, but a lot of white girls use the N-word with the A at the end, and they're talking to one another, and I'm just like, it's just, to them it's a conversational, almost like dude. And I know that sounds fucking weird to say, but I'm trying to ascribe some sort of meaning to the fact that so many people use it and want to use it because they, it's used so heavily in pop culture. They think, well, we can use it too, but it's like, no, they don't understand that word's verboten to white people. And they're like, well, why, man? We grew up with it. We've heard it in every fucking movie, every fucking song. Why can't we say it? And so I can kind of see from that angle why they're frustrated. And so when they find some 17-year-old kid's tweets when he's now 25 and he's like the pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers or the pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. Now, look, if they say, all right, we'll get into that in a second. But they use the N-word with the A at the end. And I hate doing that. I won't lie. And on this show, I've actually used the word before because I wrote a joke with the word in there. And I always felt like just me saying it I was just saying the word. I wasn't giving any power or import, and I wasn't using it in the way that terrible people use it. So I felt that I was okay. But I've learned that maybe it's not the best for, not even maybe, I shouldn't use it because it does offend or bother people. And I don't like making that decision. I mean, I personally think that I know how to use language and I know what I'm doing, but I will respect other people who feel that that's kind of a minefield and you shouldn't wade into it. But these young kids, they just use it kind of with impunity when they were 17, and then they get older and everybody goes back to find them from 8 years ago and, hey man, look at this when you were 17. And I mean, well, that kid, he grew up listening to rap and hip hop that was mainstream. Snoop essentially right now, it's like Snoop is the one black dude who they didn't turn into a pussy. Isn't that weird? Like they put him in roles like Starsky and Hutch and The Joker's Wild, but he still maintained his dangerous edge and he still maintained his coolness. Like I said, they always take guys like Richard Pryor and these other dudes, like even fucking Kanye. I don't know what the hell's going on with Kanye, man. I mean, he's a fucking whack job, and that's fine. But he's a guy who's turned himself, and I don't know if it's the Kardashians who did it, but somehow he's been turned into a joke, like almost a goofy figure, and he was a hero to that community. And now he's somehow spun off the fucking planet, and I don't know how to describe it, but it's got to be a drag for them. Anyway, who fucking cares? The point of this whole fucking stupid thing that I started saying is pillows. Get some good pillows for yourself. When they drag up some 17-year-old kid, so he grew up listening to that shit, and so they grew up listening to Snoop, and they grew up listening to that kind of language, Ice Cube and fucking everybody, and those dudes use the word all the time. So these kids wound up talking to themselves like that in suburban white fucking America, and didn't realize the power behind the word because they're fucking young and dumb. And they go, well, these guys are using it, so we should be able to use it. And then when they get explained, then it becomes taking a toy away from a baby. Well, no, I want to do it. I want to say it. I mean, they say it. Why can't I say it? And then it just turns into a stupid argument. And then a guy invented Twitter. That's literally what happened. It's like they grew up on hip hop, and everybody's like, well, I want to use that word. They said, well, you really can't. Well, everybody else uses that word. Why can't I use that word? And then Jack heard about this argument and said, why don't I invent Twitter so people can have this fight in perpetuity until the fucking world ends in 40 years? That'd be great. Because that's all Twitter is. Guys arguing about wanting to use the N-word and guys telling them why they can't. It's that, and women telling you why they're afraid of men, and men telling you shouldn't be afraid of men, you bitch. And I'm like, whoa, dude. I mean, you just proved her point, you dick. But you can't wade into that either. Like, I mean, I've talked about that before. If you're in person and you see somebody harassing somebody, then by all means, step the fuck in. But on Twitter, man, you're just fucking swinging at ghosts. You're just literally everybody in Twitter. All right, here's what Twitter is. All right. Twitter is if you invited 1 million people to a party and you blindfolded all of them and you gave every one of them sticks and you told them there was a piñata they had to hit and go. And the piñata would give them untold riches. I mean, like that. So go at it like you've never gone at anything in your life. And that's it. It's blind people swinging at fucking people they don't even know, they can't even see, but they're hurting them and wounding them with all the stuff that they do. And not one person's hit the fucking piñata yet, except Jack, who went fucking public and took all the fucking dough. How did I even spin into this? Oh, fucking James Gunn. So James Gunn writes tweets and people fucking go after him. And again, these are dumb. They were dumb jokes. They weren't funny. They were just kind of like, all right. Because again, it's that when I was a kid, there were dead baby jokes. There were entire books of dead baby jokes or filthy, dirty humor or whatever the fuck. We had that shit growing up, and every generation's gonna have it. And so James Gunn he formed his own chapter in the world of dead baby jokes. But he wrote about fucking dead babies and fucking this and that and whatever I mean, it was just raw fucking filthy dumb humor. Even if it wasn't funny to me, James Gunn thought it was funny. Other people thought it was funny. It got somebody's attention, whatever. Unfortunately, then he goes on to become a fucking world-class director and writer. He makes Guardians of the Galaxy, which makes $8 billion. He makes Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I hear blows, but I haven't seen it yet. But he's still a formidable talent. But then, because the culture wars in this country have fucking topped over the apple cart, and so now there's Macintoshes all over the ground, and fuck you, Macintosh, you Irish dick. Take that. You fucking bastard. Take your green flag and your Lucky fucking Charms and go back to your country. You hear me? Go back to Belfast, McNuggets. So anyway, they come after James Gunn because then he tweeted about Trump, what a dick Trump was. And then fucking Cernovich and these other idiots. I don't even want to tell you who Cernovich is. Google it if you want to fucking look. And they're like, oh, James Gunn, you were talking about fucking kids. This is what the liberals do. They talk about fucking kids. They think it's hilarious. Oh, wait, but Donald Trump can't say, and then they pretend to be outraged. We've talked about this on other shows. And I know it's I'm beating a dead horse into the fucking ground, but it's relevant because of James Gunn. Because James Gunn had done good work. And also, he didn't mean the things that he said. Like, if you go after Bill Cosby raped 60 chicks, so go after him. That's fucking, by all means. Louis C.K. jerked off in front of these women. Throw him in the fucking clink. James Gunn made dumb jokes. Sarah Silverman made dumb jokes. Like, I remember when she did the I Love Chinks joke on fucking Conan. It's a funny joke. It's really funny. But then some Asian guys were upset, and I completely understand that. You're probably upset that I just used the fucking word, and I get that too. I was just talking about the fucking joke that she made. But that's where we're at. I say that, this guy gets upset, and then he tells 10 friends, and they tell 100 friends, and then all of a sudden there's a fucking march on my job, or which by the way, good luck. Go ahead and march on my apartment, because that's where I work. Go ahead and come in here and tell my boss what a jagoff I am, and I'll get my boss. It's me, and I'll go, yeah, absolutely, that dude's a jagoff. I know that. I'm sorry, I can't let him go. It's a one-man operation. If we fire him, we've got nothing going on here. But that's the thing is everybody I saw a fucking thing where someone said, stop saying she's pregnant. Start saying they're pregnant. Because men fall into pregnancy just like women do. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I see that and I want to throw a hand grenade at the people making that shit up. Get fucked. I know who you identify as. I know what you are, and I'll respect that and be whoever the fuck you want. But when you start pointing and lecturing people at who to be and what to do, but then at the same time, that can apply to the guys who want to use the N-word. And they're like, haha, well, so then you're on our side? No, I'm not. Don't use that fucking word. It offends people. I mean, it just does. People get upset. They get angry about it. They're saddened by it. And you know what? Just show them. Everybody should have to look at fucking, like lynching victims. Show them a picture of the guys getting lynched. Just show them that. And just go, here's why you can't use that word. Show him the guy at the lunch counter getting salt poured on his fucking head. Show him the fucking dogs and the fire hoses. Show him the 1968, the fucking Watts riots. Fuck, show him Rodney King. That's why you can't use the fucking word. But inevitably, they pony up. Well, the thing is, I'm using it harmlessly. It's like a slang term. I have a friend who transitioned. She's the best. And one time I sent her a text and I said, dude, are you around tonight? And she didn't, she just kind of, and I immediately, like, she didn't answer right away, and I wrote her then, and I just went, please know that I say dude to everybody. I did not mean that, and I apologize. I wasn't trying to, because I try to be as hypersensitive to respecting everybody else and letting them be the person they want to be. That's fucking great. Do I understand it a lot of the time? No, but I'll let you be who you want to be. But at the same time, don't tell me that I got to say men are also pregnant, just like women. Get the fuck out of here. It's biology, man. Can't fucking work that way. I got no uteri. I got no womb. That's the name of the show. I got no womb. But James Gunn puts out these terrible tweets, and everybody hates him, and they're all fucking mad. And then Disney fires him from Guardians of the Galaxy. By the way, when I say everybody hates him, nobody hates him for real. They pretend. They come out, like I said, the roaches come out. That's what I always describe Twitter. Whenever everybody piles on, like if Patton Oswalt says something mean about somebody, the roaches come out. And that's who everybody, they just fucking, it's, I talked about it before. It's like the Mummy when the scarabs come out and they clean all the skin off your bones. And you're just a fucking skeleton, dude. So the roaches come out on James Gunn, and then Disney fires him. And all the cast members of the movie are like, James is a fucking gentleman. He does amazing work. He's kind to all of us. He respects who we are, every race, creed, color, sex, gender, whatever the fuck. He was making dumb jokes. And Disney's like, nope, can't do it. And they whack him. And the difference is, and I don't want to get too much into this because, again, I'm already too much into this, quite frankly. You can look at the difference in this country in between left and right, if there is such a thing anymore. But the people who've weaponized fucking PC, political correctness, whatever the fuck you want to call it, they pick and choose their targets. All right. So like Al Franken was a senator, and then there were some photos of him. He was grabbing a girl's boobs, and the roaches came out. And they went after Al Franken. Get rid of him. We got to fucking get rid of him. But even senators are like, well, this is terrible. He needs to go. And the reason they did it again is because he was a thorn in President Trump's side. So they knew, we got to get rid of this fucking guy. And so they did. They savaged him. And then Al Franken high-roaded it. Now, I'm not defending what he did, whatever the fuck. He did something dumb. But he immediately went, all right. He thought about it for like, I think it was 10 days. And then he made arrangements. And then he said, okay, I resign. And he resigned from being a senator. And everybody smirked. And then Brett Kavanaugh came along, and women said, oh, not only did he, there's no photographs of him grabbing our tits or whatever, but he sexually assaulted me. And then another girl said he sexually assaulted me. And then it turns out he was a fucking drunk. And he had blackout episodes, and his roommate in college would attest to that. All these different people came forward and said these things. And the Republicans basically went, fuck you. All the roaches ignored that. Now, Franken, again, like I said, they came after him for 2 photographs, and they got him out of office. He quit. But these guys came out. But the difference is fucking Republicans dig in. I don't even want to call them Republicans anymore. Conservatives, whatever the fuck. The evangelical. I don't know what you want to call them. The Trumpers, whatever. The fucking deplorables, whatever they want to fucking wear as a badge. They dig the fuck in, and they keep their guy. And then Trump has the balls to go out and apologize to Kavanaugh on behalf of Americans. And then he also says at a speech in Minnesota, he goes, you guys had Al Franken. He goes, look at that guy. He quit. He goes, you never quit. You stay and fight. If he cared about this country, he would have stayed and fought. And I'm like, you motherfucker. Because if he stays and fights, then they pretend that Democrats don't care about these issues, don't care about women. They spin it, and they have a full, locked, loaded, fully armed media outlet in Fox to spin it, and an army of people watching it and swallowing all of it, and believing it. Now, look, in this fucking dumb rant that I got into that I didn't want to get into, I'm not defending Democrats. I'm not defending the left. I'm not saying CNN and MSNBC are good. You know me. I fuck everybody. I think it's all pro wrestling. And I don't even follow his, I follow him, but I can't read his Twitter anymore. I used to wake up in the morning and read his Twitter. But now I know it's just bullshit to make you mad. All it is pop culture garbage, and he throws it out there about the fucking, about Saturday Night Live or fucking whoever the fuck and NFL. It's just to rile people up so they don't look at the fact that they are raping this country and stealing everything they can. They are truly, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I don't know how people aren't making the analogy more often. He did business with the mob in New York forever. He knows how the mob does business, and this is what he's doing. The one thing he said during his campaign that turned out to be true was, I will run this country like a business. Yes, like a mob business. This is the sporting goods store in The Sopranos that they're banging out, and they're stealing everything out the back door, and they're going to torch it. That's it. They're running this country where they can grift and steal as much as they fucking can, and then they will burn down the husk when they're finished. They're making it a fucking fiefdom. To their interests, and I don't understand how people can't see it. He did some bullshit thing the other day. Was it the other day or was it today? It might have been even today. Where he got into it with he gave an interview to a woman named Olivia Nuzzi, who's for New York Magazine, and he's talking to her, and it's a bullshit speech, and he brings in Mike Pence, and they put on a big fucking dog and pony show to try to trick her into giving them coverage that was favorable. And in the column, she's writing about it, and then at the end, she asks him a question. He interrupts her, and he goes, "Speak up. You talk very softly. Did anyone ever tell you to speak very softly?" And everybody sees that because they're like, "Oh, it was so creepy. It gave me the creeps when he said that to her. It was like Hannibal Lecter or something when he talked to Clarice. It was so creepy." And no, it's not fucking creepy. It's a fucking tactic, and he's used it fucking forever. One time, Larry King was interviewing him, and Larry King was starting to press him on something he didn't want to talk about, and he told Larry King he had bad breath on a live interview on CNN. "Oh, Larry, your breath, you really need a piece of gum or something. You need a mint." Because it's a way to control the narrative and stop it and put the other person on the defensive. It's a trick. And he does it all the fucking time, and they let him get away with it because they defer or they go, because you're tricked into defending yourself. It's like if you come up to somebody with your boss, and you have a real grievance about the way things are going in your department, and he goes, "I've been meaning to talk to you about your ties. Your ties are awful. You got to wear better ties." Well, now the argument isn't more about what has been going on in your department. It's about the fact that you wear stupid ties, and a guy in a position of power has made you feel inferior, and now you have to defend yourself in your selection of ties, or you have to think about the fact that you better get some new ties because you're a good person, and he's a shitbag who's just trying to fucking control things. And this is what he fucking does. God, did I not want to go here? I absolutely did not want to go here. Fuck. So anyway, James Gunn. They came for him. The roaches came for him, and he lost his gig. But now, finally, someone has wisened up and given him a job. And I should tell you, like I said, I was already saying, the entire cast of Guardians of the Galaxy defended him. They said, "We love this guy, and we don't want to do another movie without him." But Disney still fired him. And now DC, rival comics movie entrepreneurs, whatever the fuck, DC has hired him to write and direct the new Suicide Squad. which had Joker and fucking Harley Quinn and everybody else in it. And Jesus Christ, it's literally, that is their Guardians of the Galaxy. They couldn't have picked a better fucking guy, even if he did fuck up Guardians 2. And I loved it. And again, I saw people tried. The Roaches came out on Twitter and they went, "Oh, way to go, DC! Way to go, Warner Brothers! You're going to reward a pedophile." Blah blah. Because that's the thing. They make the leap from guy who made bad jokes to pedophile because he made jokes about pedophilia. And so when you throw that word, when you throw racist, when you throw anything, it infinitely changes the discussion immediately. Then you're on your heels defending yourself from pedophilia or racism or whatever the fuck that's. It's a tactic. It's all a tactic. This whole fucking country, this whole thing's a tactic. And I can't anymore. I can't. I'm over it. This is why I need good pillows. Because I'm going to buy the good pillows and I'm going to hide in my grown-up apartment and I'm going to sleep for the next 40 years until the sun consumes this entire fucking shitball of a planet. You guys can get me at mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you want to be my friend after I just called this a shitball of a planet? Look, I have hope, somewhat, sort of. I like things. Like I said, I'm going to have friends over to have pork chops and watch movies. That's a bleak note to close this show on. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. I'm at Snapchat and Instagram. Did you know that? You know it now. I'm at Snapchat and Instagram, and that's where I am. I'm the dude who's at Mike40YOB. Snapchat and Instagram. Snapchat says photos, real quick photos. So if you say, "Hey, Mike, we want to see your left hand," we could play Twister. If you want to play Twister via Snapchat, we can. Just say left hand blue. I'll take a photo of it, send it to you. I'll send you right hand green. Look at the fun we're having over Snapchat, folks. I just invented Snapchat fucking Twister. Did I say Twitter? I might have said Twitter. Let's play Snapchat Twister. Mike40YOB is who I am. And I'm there on Instagram too. I'm Mike40YOB. Check me out there. I'm the best. I'm not really the best, but I'm there. So go ahead and follow me and be my friend and send me a photo. Why wouldn't you do that? It would be a great thing. Our friend Ryan Dirks does all of the web stuff for this show. You can find him at Facebook.com/Ryan Dirks. Go be his friend and tell him he's great, because he is great. I might not be, but he is totally great. Giovanni Giorgio Peluso does all of the cool-ass web stuff for this show. You can find him and tell him he's also super cool. He's at Facebook.com/Giovanni Giorgio Peluso. Find him and say he's the best. And you can also find his other podcasts. And he's got a YouTube channel called The Love Between Two Hosts. Go ahead and find that. And also he does the Get It On podcast, the GIO Get It On podcast, and all the Loveline stuff he does. He burnishes and brushes up and restores and saves all the old Loveline stuff. So please get that into your rotation and listen to it, because it's the greatest. And I'm not gonna break. This is not a breaking show. No, it is a break. What the fuck? I'll have to break. I should break. I got things to do, folks. I'm gonna break. Should I break? Why am I asking you? Of course you're telling me not to break. Give me something to break. Let's do that. How about your fucking face? Our friend David Mex Hernandez does all of the cool-ass artwork and stuff for this show. He's available at artbydmh.com. That's ARTBYDMH.com. Oh, first of all, be his friend at Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez. He does all the artwork and the music for the show. Go thank him via Facebook. But if you want to buy artwork from him, you can go to artbydmh.com. That's ARTBYDMH.com. He's got Valscapes. He's got Gycons, pieces already existing that are for sale. And on the other side, I'll tell you a little bit about a YouTube video with some Joker stuff that he did that he may or may not have, if you're interested in grabbing some of that stuff. Should I tell you now? Yeah, I can tell you now. We have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll just tell you this now. I should have told you this earlier. We have a YouTube channel, the 40-year-old boy YouTube channel, and our friend Gio was the guy who helped me build all that. And by helped, I mean he did it all while I talked and sent him stuff. And Max sent him stuff and artwork and whatever. But now we've been branching out a little bit. We have the shows, and then we have other things there at the 40-year-old boy channel. The live streams, certainly. I've got one coming up tomorrow, which will be fun. But not that it matters, because you're going to hear this on Thursday. But I got one tomorrow, which is great. And but David, I listened to the Joker show I did a couple of weeks ago, and I thought to myself, you know what? I think there's something here. Like, I think I would like to try to get some traction with this and get people listening to it, and maybe there's a way I can do it, because I'm thinking about doing standalone YouTube stuff anyway. So I invented a thing. We came up with this idea for a thing called the 40-year-old boy standalone sting, because playing, it's with the bees in my head. And I took the Joker chunks, we edited them together, and then I gave them to David, and he made a movie out of it by adding all of his Joker artwork. It is available now at the 40-Year-Old Boy YouTube channel. If you have not seen it, please check it out. And if you haven't already, please share it with friends or people or anybody you know who likes comic books or Batman, because I think it's fucking great. I mean, I love Mex's artwork and the way he put it together. It's fantastic, and I'm insightful and funny, and I'm breaking down exactly what I do and don't like about Joker's past and present, and it's really fucking cool and interesting in my opinion. And it's only made that much better by David's artwork and the pacing of it. And then there's a nice button at the end of the video. So please go check that out at the YouTube channel, the 40-Year-Old Boy YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and put in Mike Schmidt comedy or 40-Year-Old Boy, and I will come right up. You go to the channel. We got all these old podcasts on there. We got old stand-up clips of me. There's all sorts of stuff on there. And then subscribe, man. If you haven't subscribed yet to the YouTube channel, this would be a good time to do that. I would appreciate it. And get yourself involved in seeing things that are coming forward, because I might start going through the old archives and pulling out standalone stings from other shows, and maybe Mex can do something with those, and who knows. But we have plans. We got things that we want to do. So please go check out the 40-Year-Old Boy YouTube channel. And remember, you'll see the artwork on there, and there may be some of that artwork available from David. You got to contact him, though. And the place you can do that is at artbydmh.com. That's artbydmh.com.
And MechDog Mafia give you I Will Survive. You'll be awake all night surfing this Super 70s soundscape of the 40-Year-Old Boy's worst nightmare.
In the summertime when the weather is high, pack up all your stuff and throw it right outside. Cause you know it's rough. You got bedbugs on your stuff. You got one, maybe two, just enough to piss off racist Lou. Staring at my bed all night, waiting for the bedbug bite, and I can't get them out of my bed. No, I can't get them out of my bed. So I'll sleep in my chair instead, 'cause I can't get them out of my bed. I can see them crawling there on my nice clean bed. In my room I can't sleep till I know they're dead. Bedbugs, you better beware if you find them creeping round your underwear. Bedbugs, you better beware if you find them creeping round your underwear.
I'm Fernando, I ain't playing. You got bed bugs that need spraying. Spray your mattress, spray your walls, spray your bed, spray your balls. Are they dead? Who can tell? For the bugs hide so well. I'm the Orkin man. I'm the Orkin man.
I Will Survive creeps you out with 70 standouts like Tavares, C.W. McCall, Edison Lighthouse, Bill Conti, and even the Fat Boys.
We're not doing the Fat Boy.
Jonathan Edwards.
Bugs go away today. Don't think I can take it. Bugman says I gotta leave my stuff in the sun to bake it. He tells me that I should not freak out. Can't hear what he's saying. Then he pops one and it begins to spout, and all that blood goes spraying. I gotta get these bed bugs off of me. Little Schmitty's gotta get some DDT. DDT, get some DDT. Little Schmitty gonna sleep in the front room all day long. I gotta get these bed bugs off of me. Little Schmitty's gotta get some DDT. He's got the bed bugs, get some DDT. Little Schmitty gonna sleep in the front room all day long. I gotta get these bed bugs off of me. Little Schmitty's gotta get some DDT. He's got the bed bugs, get some DDT. Little Schmitty gonna sleep in the front room all day long. I gotta get. and Karen had a real nice bed. Owned the thing since before they wed. Then the bed bugs came to play. Now the bed's getting thrown away. Oh, bed bugs, another story where Mike cried. Oh, bed bugs, another story where Mike cried. Shitty, don't fear the bed bugs. They're in your clothes, your walls, and your hair. Don't forget your mattress. Come on, Shitty, don't fear the bed bugs. Didn't you have fleas? Don't fear the bed bugs. Ain't no reason to cry. Don't fear the bed bugs. Hey, it could be worse.
Your friends' mood rings will be a solid green with envy when they see your copy of I Will Survive, available on a massive 67 album set or 1 8-track tape. You know you've got the itch. Go ahead and scratch it. Order today.
So, I owe you guys an explanation. First, let me apologize for the fact that you're hearing this show on a fucking Thursday. If you're even hearing it on Thursday, you may be hearing it later, of course. I was late in getting this show out. It's funny. I said I need to take a break, and then I wasn't going to take a break, and I was just going to finish the show. Here's why, and I'll explain. And I know you're like, well, Mike, you don't have to apologize. We get it. I owe you an apology, and I need to tell you exactly what just happened. Nothing serious, but I have Patreon subscribers that I answer to now, and I have you guys who support the show. I'm recording this on Thursday right now, this part, and that's why you're not hearing. You may be hearing the show tonight. I don't know. Here's what happened. I've been rushing to try and stockpile a lot of money and make bonuses and things like that in driving. And I really, really hate when driving infringes on this, because this is my job. This is my life. This is my career. This is the thing I want to do. But driving is an easy way for me to try to stockpile some cash. And I'm paying, like I said, I'm trying to pay off the IRS quickly because I still have to file 2 more years of taxes, and I know those bills are going to be prohibitive. I have to pay my accountant, and then I just got to live. You know what I mean? And I know you're like, oh well, you live. Look at you paying a trainer. I get that. I had to pay my trainer. I got to pay Shannon. I had my cleaning ladies come today and fucking clean the apartment. Because whatever. So the point is, I needed to make money last night. So I recorded, or not even last night, that's fucking Tuesday. I recorded that show on Tuesday, and then I went out to drive, and then I drove late, and then yesterday I got caught up, and I wound up sleeping late. I went to the gym, and then I wound up coming home, and I did a live stream. And then I went out to drive after the live stream, and I figured I would come home and because I was trying to hit a bonus so I didn't have to work today, Thursday, because I still have to go pick up furniture. I have a lot of things that are colliding, so I apologize. I went last night and I drove after the live stream, and I drove until I didn't get home until 2:45 a.m. But I wound up hitting my numbers, which was great because I could be off today. And then I came to my desk and I started to set it up, and I'm not kidding. I leaned back in my chair and I closed my eyes. And I woke up in a haze. I don't even know what time it was. And I woke up not even thinking, well, I got to do the show. I just woke up and said, oh man, I'm asleep at my desk. I go to bed. I fried my brain by sleeping, and I wandered in and I went to sleep. And my cleaning people were coming at 11 o'clock a.m. on Thursday. So I wake up and it's 10:45. So I don't even have time to record the show in the morning. And then it dawns on me, because normally Thursday I'll pick up my phone and I've got a bunch of notifications from people. And it was this slow thing where I woke up and went, oh no, the girls are coming. Oh no, I got to shower before they get here. Oh no, the fucking show. Like it was this, and you're not an afterthought. I don't want you to think that. And this show's not an afterthought. This is my career. This is what I do. But I was just so zombified last night when I came home, because I've been getting up early to go to the gym and then driving, and it's my own fault. So I apologize to you. I am sorry about that. So last night I wound up, like I said, I crashed and I just fucking half asleep wandered to bed. Got up this morning just in time to take a fast shower and let the girls in to clean. And now we're recording on Thursday afternoon, and at least this part. So thank you for your indulgence. I do apologize for being a day late, and I will try to make sure it won't happen again. Next week I'm recording in San Francisco, so the show obviously won't be late. But going forward, again, like please know the priority you guys have. I hope you know that. And I've been doing this 11 years. I consider this my job, my life, my career. It's just, unfortunately, sometimes you got to color in the lines with another crayon, and that crayon is my car. And I needed to drive and try to do what I could to be off today. And it was a good idea. It was a good thought. It's just that I got caught up in the late night, sleeping late, and I'm trying to change. Again, I'm trying to be in bed by 2 and up by 10. Well, when you get home at 2:45 and then you're fried and you can't get to bed till 4:15, you don't sleep, it's just this thing. And then you get up, go to the gym at 10 again. You wind up, so it was that kind of a week. I was doing a lot of, I'm behind the 8 ball a little bit. I'm behind it. So I'm just chasing. So I'm chasing this week, and I'm back. And it won't happen going forward. I will do my best to try to make sure that it does not. But it was so funny. I did the live stream last night, and I was like, all right, well, maybe I even said after the live stream, I go, maybe I record this now, bust out the show, and then go drive. And I went, nah, you only have to do a certain amount of rides. Go get those quick. You'll be done by midnight. And it was just super slow yesterday, super slow Tuesdays. Tuesday, I got 3 rides in 3.5 hours, which makes no fucking sense. And then last night, I wound up last night having to do 10 rides, which normally could be done in 5 hours. It should be done in 4. But I got out the door last night at 9 o'clock after the live stream, and then I was out. Like I said, I didn't get home until 2:45. You don't, whatever. So I belabored the point. I do apologize, and the show is late, and I'm sorry about that. And hopefully going forward, it won't be late again. We've got sponsors. People sponsored the show. I don't know if they will anymore after it came out fucking late. I have no idea. But our friend Fearful Jesuit and the Paranoid Strain podcast, which is available in the iTunes store. You can go check it out right now. Please download it because it's fantastic stuff. I've been telling you about the QAnon episode, and now he's put in a second 9/11 episode. Now, I have not listened to the second 9/11 episode. He's going to kill me next week when he sees me, but I will have listened to it by then, of course. But it's hard to do in the car, and I've been in the car quite a bit. And the show, it's almost an hour and a half, 2 hour show that he puts out, and it's a great show. But it's weird enough getting people in the car without exposing them to 9/11 conspiracies. That seems a little fucking strange. It's an entertaining show, and it's completely well done. But it's weird enough when they get in the car and I've got Dragnet going, and everybody fucks makes a sour face. And I go, look, you don't have to listen to this if you don't want to. And then I get to listen to Drake 10 times in a row, which is fine. But I will tell you this: I had two really funny things happen in the car. The other day, Mex came up in my shuffle. I had my iPod on, and it was the Bedbug song. He did the Bedbug montage. You know what? Fuck it. I'll throw that in. I'll throw that in as the break song. You'll hear it. But that's this song. You'll hear the Bedbug song you just heard came up in shuffle, and it was playing in the car, and I didn't care. I was like letting it play, and there's a couple in the back seat, and after like a minute and a half, finally they go, "Who is the Mexican?" Because that's what it says on the screen. I go, oh, it's a buddy of mine. And they're like, what is this song? It sounds like a bunch of other songs. I go, yeah, it's a combination. I go, and I said, I go, there's a long story and a short story. And they go, well, we're almost out in like a mile. So I go, no, all right, it's a short story. I have a show. My friend does all the music for it. And there was a topic. I wound up getting bed bugs at my house. And he basically made this song which is 40 songs about me having bed bugs. And they're like, turn it up. So I turned it up, and they listened to the end of it. And they actually sat in the car to hear the end. And they're like, is there anywhere we can buy that? I'm like, you really can't. I'm sorry. I said, you can listen to the podcast, and I gave them the 40-Year-Old Boy channel and stuff. So my favorite part is them sorting through 11 years trying to find the song. So if somehow they listen to this episode, they'll hear it as the break song. They'll hear it and they'll know exactly what it was. And then I'm sure they'll dub it and they'll rip it and they'll put it in their own iPod. And the Mexican is infecting Southern California. So that happened. But then also I was in the car and in my shuffle, songs are playing. And, I'll have those like Tarantino drops from his album where it'll be, Stuntman Mike. Who's Stuntman Mike? He's a stuntman. And then a song will play. Now on the soundtrack albums, the next song in the soundtrack plays, but with shuffle, you never know what you're going to get, So in the shuffle, a song ended, and all of a sudden you heard me. And I said, look, it's just opinions, folks. It's just a show. I like Van Halen and I like Tom Cruise. Oh my God. You know what I would love? If Tom Cruise made bass in Van Halen. Oh my God. And then Lily laughs. And then I go, Jesus, how many tickets do I buy to that show? And then it ends, and the first piano notes of Mandy by Barry Manilow kicked in. And there's someone in the car. I think they're more offended to hear that Mandy started. But it was, again, because I had the radio turned up, you could hear the songs. And the song finished, and it was actually Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode ended. And then my voice went, it's just opinions, folks. And they had already talked to me, so they knew it was my fucking voice. And then it sounds like I'm sneaking myself in for my own jokes, whatever. But it just came up in shuffle. Nothing I could do about it. Oh, man, what if Tom Cruise played bass in Van Halen? How many tickets do I have to buy to that fucking show? And I could see him in the mirror just make a face. And then ding, 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 the piano for Mandy. We have fun in my car, folks. Until we come home and we fall asleep on a fucking desk and we derelict our duties. So anyway, Our good friend Fearful Jesuit does the amazing Paranoid Strain podcast available in the iTunes store. Download it now. Subscribe, please. Listen to it. Write him a note. Tell him that you heard the show because we told him we told you to listen to it because he'll think we're hitters and he'll be excited to still do business with this show. He won't kick me out of the compound next week when I go visit him for a couple of days and record at his place. Fascinating stuff, as always. Like I said, I heard the QAnon show back and forth, but I have not listened to the 9/11, the second part of the 9/11 show. But as I've mentioned, he saw it. I mean, Fearful Jesuit was in New York and he saw the towers come down and he had friends involved. And so if anybody is uniquely qualified to speak to the experience, it's someone who was there and someone with the talent to convey exactly what they saw and to debunk whatever myths you might hear that are in play. It's our good friend Fearful Jesuit. So please download this new episode about 9/11. It's the second part of a two-parter. And download all of them. Listen to all of them if you haven't listened yet. Please subscribe to him in iTunes. And write him a note, write him a review in the iTunes store mentioning our podcast, saying we sent you and that you love the show. That would be fantastic. I want to thank you. Of course, if you're on Patreon, we have a Patreon page, and I just delivered a fucking apology to all of you people, especially anybody. You expect better of me, and I get that. I apologize. Whatever the fuck, I've apologized a million times. The point I was going to say here, though, is be a patron if you want to. Go be a patron at the Patreon page. Go ahead and subscribe, please, at patreon.com, and I'm Mike40YOB on there. Just put in Mike Schmidt Patreon, it'll come up. And so please subscribe and do that. And I want to thank Matthew Henshaw, who's a great friend of this show. He's come to see me in Cincinnati, and I believe he saw me elsewhere. I don't want to go too deep into it. But Matthew, he was already a Patreon subscriber, and he upped his subscription to an unbelievably generous amount, and I can't thank him enough for that. So thank you, Matthew, for stepping up to the plate and making that happen. And thank you for also being a presence on the live streams. I mean, I've been doing the live streams weekly, and people have been showing up, and it's a lot of the same people are coming in, but we're also getting some new people. That makes me happy. So because with the YouTube channel, we've got that. We debuted the webcam last night, ladies and gentlemen, and I can tell you that because it's Thursday. Fuck. But we debuted the webcam. It looked really good. I was very proud of it, very excited, and happy to have people on board. And that live stream is archived over at the YouTube channel I told you about earlier. You can watch all the old live streams, whatever the fuck you want to do. Go ahead and tune in. That's fantastic. But become a patron at Patreon, and then you know what? Maybe I won't have to drive. If I can get like 15 more of you giving a certain amount of cash, then I can maybe I don't have to drive. Maybe I can get you guys on board and making it work. So thank you. I appreciate everybody for thinking of me and the show and becoming patrons at Patreon. You make this show go, and I do appreciate it very, very much. Remember, I'm at a Cameo. If you download the Cameo app, I'll go ahead and shout at your family members for a certain amount of money, or I'll just tell them that you love them, whatever the fuck you want me to do. Go ahead and get me on board, and I'm happy to do it. If you want to be a Lyft driver, use my code, and this is all caps, Mike720057, MIKE720057. If you want to be an Uber driver, use my code, and this is all lowercase, DJZW1YTTUE. That's DJZW1YTTUE. So go ahead and become that. And it's also if you're a first-time rider. If you use my code as a first-time rider, that really helps you out because they'll go ahead and they'll take care of you as a rider. I get some money. It's perfect. It works out great. So please use those codes. Make those happen. Make everybody happy. Let's see. We have the MikeSchmidtComedy.com. We got the webpage, of course, we tell you about. Go ahead and check that out and go to the Joe Business page. We have stuff for sale, as always, but it's all live stuff and past stuff. You have all that stuff, I would imagine. We don't have any shirts yet. We're still brainstorming and thinking about those. But the important thing is the Amazon link is there. If you go ahead and use the Amazon link, we get money, they get money, you get stuff. It costs you nothing more, nothing extra. All you do is click on that link and then you shop away. And it doesn't, like I said, we just get a taste of whatever you buy. It works out perfectly. All it takes you is the 5 seconds to get to the Joe Business page. Click on the Amazon link. You're in Amazon. You're buying things with our code, and it really helps out the show very much. Thank you so much for thinking of us. We get money. They get money. You get stuff. Let's all make sure that Jeff Bezos is a happy man, shall we? Let's all make sure he gets all the money in the world. Let's go ahead and give him every fucking dollar we could possibly give him to make sure that he's on top for the rest of his days. We need Bezos. Bezos needs us. We are Bezos. Bezos. If they don't use that in a commercial, I will be furious. That was pure Mike Schmidt off the top of the old head, right off the old noggin. That just came out. We are Bezos. Bezos. And I'll tell you know what, I'll do this. Somebody on the live stream last night asked me if I was voting for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and all the nominees. I did cast a vote. I will never tell you how to vote. I'll tell you who I voted for. There's a ton of nominees. I think like 15 of these people could get in, and also there's another fucking 500 people they didn't nominate that should get into the goddamn thing. And they'll get to them eventually. I understand it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's politics. And, Steve Miller exposed a lot of it when he got into it with the Black Keys a couple of years ago. And a lot of these people see this as an honor. A lot of people see it as a goof, because also rock and roll, it wasn't about halls of fame. It was about fucking drugs and pussy and making crazy shit happen, and mud sharks and fucking setting fire to hotel rooms and throwing TVs out the window and shit like that. And now you're mad you didn't get a plaque on a wall in Cleveland? It seems a little strange, but at the same time, I recognize it, because when you see somebody go in who you're like, they got in? What the fuck? I mean, that's pure stand-up comedy, green room, back of the fucking house talk. When you're like, how the fuck are they laughing at this shit? How the fuck is this guy good? I recognize that feel. So if you're the guys in fucking, if you're Pat Benatar, for one, who Pat reminded me isn't even nominated, you're sitting there and you're just like, how the fuck are the zombies nominated and I'm not? And maybe she's not like that. I don't know, but you have to think to yourself, Jesus Christ, this doesn't make any sense. So who did I vote for? I know you want to know. I know you're thinking to yourself, well, who does Mike vote for? So we know exactly who to vote for. Well, you don't need to know who to vote for. I am telling you, you can do your own thing. But you vote for 5 bands, and I voted for Janet Jackson, Todd Rundgren, Devo, Kraftwerk, and The Cure. That's who it was. I voted for Janet Jackson, Todd Rundgren, Devo, Kraftwerk, The Cure. I think Kraftwerk was the seed from which all K-rock type music sprouted. If you don't have Kraftwerk, you don't have Depeche Mode, and you don't have The Cure, in my opinion. Kraftwerk should be in as a pioneer band, if anything. Janet is Janet, of course. I know you're going to be like, well, she's not rock and roll. Shut up. I mean, she's been fucking amazing for 30 years. Rundgren, that's a no-brainer. That guy should have been in for, literally, you could put him in for his production work. You can put him in for his solo work. You can put him in for the Utopia work, whatever the fuck. Todd Rundgren's a multi-faceted threat. He should just go in for everything. And The Cure has had longevity and hits, and also I think they changed their genre of music. They were able to make moodiness accessible and bring it to a pop sensibility, and I think that was brilliant. And Devo's just fucking Devo. They got cool hats. Put them in, motherfuckers. They were a band that took the sensibility of that new wave English feel, and they Americanized it. And it's just awesome stuff. So I mean, it's like Devo's almost like, and I shudder to say this, an American Kraftwerk. And I don't mean in their influence. Well, maybe I mean in their influence, not in their quality of work. It's just, it's different. But same. So I would say Devo's an American Kraftwerk. I'm going to go that route. I'm going to say Devo's an American Kraftwerk, and I'll be booed out of the stadium, certainly. And you vote for who you want to vote for. I will tell you this though. I voted for Rufus, not Chaka Khan. Don't want her in there. But Rufus, absolutely. I think Rufus definitely belongs, but no thank you, Shaka. Take a fucking walk. Let's Rufusize this motherfucker. That's what I said. I started to say this in the beginning of the show, and I'll bring it to you now. Do I sound any different? Do I sound better? Do I sound richer? Do I sound like I have more timbre? Was my AMSR, was my campfire smoke voice on point for you guys? I hope it was. Because here's what happened. Here's what I've done. Here's the thing that I'm told to do. Our friend Giovanni Giorgio Peluso, all those names, he said to me, he goes, when we were doing the live stream tests on the new webcam, he's like, hey, show me how you're talking to your microphone. So I did. And he goes, because I always fret about spit noises and stuff like that all the time. And he's like, you're talking into your microphone wrong. I go, dude, I've been an entertainer for 27 fucking years. I know how to talk into a microphone. He goes, no, not. He goes, I'm not questioning that. But these microphones are built a different way. You have to turn it kind of counterclockwise, 1/4 turn. And he's watching me on a webcam. So I turned, he's like, no, yes, no, yes. It's this fucking, it's like if somebody was on a FaceTime trying to tell you hang a painting, they can't see what your wall really looks like. So finally, I got what he meant, and he told me, he's like, so we did verbal tests. I did tests with the microphone, and goddamn if he wasn't right. I was talking directly into here was his analogy, so I'm going to use it. Why not on the air? He kept telling me, it's like a cock. You want to talk into the side of the cock, the shaft. You don't want to talk into the head. And I kept saying to him, you got to think of a better analogy. Like, can't you go with a banana or anything like that, a fucking broomstick, whatever? And he's like, I know, it's weird. He goes, that's the only thing I could think of at this time. And I'm like, of course, because you're fucking cock drunk. But, But you know what? It works as an analogy for you guys, unseen. I used to keep it pointing directly. It's like, all right, I'll use a baseball bat because I'm a grown man. If you had the barrel of the bat, the top of the bat, you know where they screw in and they put in the cork? If you were talking into the top of the bat, that's what I was doing. But instead, you're supposed to turn the bat to the side and speak into the trademark or into the signature of the guy batting. So, like corn on the cob, if you don't talk into the top of the cob, if you bite the corn, you're talking to where you bite the corn. I don't know if any of this makes any sense. And I don't even know if it made any improvements. I have no fucking clue. I mean, you could be listening now and going, Mike, wait, you sound exactly the fucking same way you sound every week. We can't hear you because we're drowning in spit. We're actually going ahead and drying out our ears because you can't stop fucking expectorating into our goddamn heads. And I understand that. But at the same time, Gio was like, hey, you should do this. And now I've done it. And the red lines fit and the blue lines fit. And I think I sound better. And I hope I sound better because, and look, by the way, this is a Thursday record. I might have sounded a lot better. I was doing this on Wednesday. You know what I should have done? Fuck, this is what I should have done. When I recorded the show on Tuesday, I should have recorded that whole chunk like this with the sideway mic. And then I should have turned it around and gone and talked into the head of the cock on this one. And then you'd be like, oh, we can actually hear a difference. Maybe it's one way or the other way. I could actually have like a taste test. I could actually like a fucking Folgers Crystals. I could ask you guys to tell me, well, which is better? Is it this one or this one? Better or worse? Better or worse? Better or worse? Better or worse? Better or worse?
Fuck you, Schmitty. You don't come to a throne if you're not gonna suck a dick.